welcome to Glasscast and Windowcast. And we are broadcasting live from the trade show floor at GlassBuild America in Orlando, Florida. I'm Sara Neiswanger, Director of Industry Engagement for the National Glass Association. And I'm here with Don Busiek, General Manager, and Ron Crowl, Senior Advisor at Cyncly. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Sara.
Thank you for being here with us. So I think just to get started, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. Don, we'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you. So, I've been in manufacturing software, industrial software for 30 years. I joined Cyncly about a year and a half ago now, and it's been awesome. I mean, coming to an event like GlassBuild where there's incredible customer interaction and so much innovation, it's really been an incredible time. So I feel very lucky to be here and really excited for our discussion.
Awesome, well thank you very much. And Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, Sara, first thank you for having us. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. Again, the name is Ron Crowl. I've been involved in the industry for the vast majority of my professional career, more than 30 years. The first 25 years was an owner, president, and CEO of a software company called Fenatech. And now the last few years, I've been an advisor for Cyncly and the Window Door Glass Group.
Right, terrific. Well, and for those of people in the industry who may be less familiar with Cyncly, just give us a brief detail on the company and how it fits into the bigger industry web, so to speak.
Yeah, happy to do it, and then Ron will chime in with anything I miss. But so Cyncly is really a company that focuses on spaces for living. So think about kitchens, baths, flooring, windows, doors, glass, right? That whole kind of space is where we focus. It's about a 2,500 person company, 800 developers writing software, really with a focus on how do you transform an industry, drive innovation in an industry that really, I think if you think about like windows, doors, and glass, in an industry that has so much potential where we're just trying to help our customers, drive better results. So Cyncly is multiple business units. Windows, doors, and glass happens to be one of those business units. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Anything to add, Ron, on that note?
Yeah, I would say that the thing that impresses me about Cyncly is that we have various business units, but I think we all have the same common goal, and that's to expand all the way from the kitchen table where a sale is made, all the way through the installation process. Where in the past, with my involvement with Fenatech, we really focused on the manufacturing floor. This takes us further into the ecosystem of how products are sold, installed, and serviced and supported. So I really like what Cyncly is doing.
Terrific. No, that's a very helpful distinction, and I think one that we can all picture happening. So to your point, you said you assumed this role about a year and a half ago, and you also shifted into an advisory role at that time. So a lot of change and evolution happening. Ron, you have a big milestone coming up at the end of the month, is that right?
About 10 days, actually.
10 days, okay.
So, but who's counting?
I know, no kidding. So GlassBuild is certainly, hopefully not the last time we'll see you in the industry upon your retirement, or how do you plan to spend your time?
Well, it's a good question. First of all, the 10 days from now, it's a very bittersweet day. As I said before, I've spent my vast majority professional career in this industry, and I've met a lot of great people, consider a lot of the Fenatech customers personal friends and industry partners as well. And during my time in the industry, I had the great opportunity to get involved with NGA on the board. And so I think that even though I'll be taking a hiatus from the day-to-day operation, who knows where I'll show up down the road, so we'll see.
Yes, that sounds good.
Ron talks about being bittersweet. It's not just bittersweet for him, it's bittersweet for all of us. It has been really a pleasure for me to kind of work with Ron. He's a titan in the industry, he's been great in terms of introducing me to customers, the relationships, really a great role model for anyone in how to run a business. So it is a bittersweet day for all of us.
Well, thank you for the kind words.
Yes, no, we will miss having you around on a regular basis, Ron. So Don, in your role, you didn't necessarily come from a glass and glazing background. How has the industry treated you so far? What do you think of it now?
Yeah, look, to me it's been awesome. You're right that I didn't necessarily come from this industry, but I've been in industrial software. So maintenance software, manufacturing software, industrial ERP, asset performance management, analytics, like that's been where I grew up. So I think it's been a fairly, I want to say, seamless transition.
Yes.
But what's really amazing here is, again, like you talk to customers, the amount of innovation that you see in glass manufacturing, the amount of innovation that you see in windows manufacturing, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't think you appreciate it when you're not in the industry. And so for me, it's just incredibly exciting talking to customers, hearing what they're doing, figuring out how we tailor our software to enhance their business. It's been awesome. It's been a great year and a half.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it's been a good segue for you.
Yeah.
On that note. So now, just kind of also in retrospect a little bit, you've been in your area of work for a very long time. Ron, you have been in the glass industry for decades, as you said. I'm interested from both of you on, are there any periods of time that stand out where there were noticeable shifts that either drove new innovation or particular challenges that, like, I remember in X year, this was a game changer for us?
Yeah, I look back over the 30 years and, I can think back to the early days when I got involved in the industry and we were, really pretty an unknown quantity in the industry. But what we saw was, myself and numerous of the initial Fenatech employees had industrial control system backgrounds. So we worked on shop floors in a variety of industries. And what we saw was we came into the glass and window and door industry and found that there was really a potential here because there wasn't, we were just starting to see PCs on the shop floor. Production was done through tribal knowledge on the floor or reams and reams of paper being pulled together. So we saw an opportunity to, we saw the machinery starting to have a lot of automation in it. But at the time, what it was there was islands of automation all over the shop floor. And nothing was integrated, nothing talked together. So we were seeing efficiency gains in a small segment of the business, but we needed the ERP solution to tie it all together. So if I look back, I see that going from islands of automation into an integrated system was a huge step forward to the industry. And I look forward now to the future, sitting on my couch with a popcorn bowl, because what I see happening now, if we talk to a lot of people at the show, you're going to see there's artificial intelligence is making its way into daily life. And what I see happening in the near future is that we're moving from, we spent 25 years removing these islands of automation, and now we're going to transition into islands of intelligence that need to be tied together. And that's a great opportunity for somebody like Cyncly to come in and take charge and set the industry standards. So, yeah, the big milestones I see, again, are going from, work cells that were inefficient and paperwork driven and tribal knowledge driven into automated work cells and then into integrated solutions. So from a technology perspective, we've certainly seen great advancement. And then from a machinery perspective, simple examples, when we started in the business 25, 30 years ago, inspection of glass was very simplistic, right? It was a scratch on the glass. It was, is there an inclusion in the glass? But now when you talk about, some of the equipment that's available in the industry, they're talking about millidiopters, and they're talking about, anisotropy, and a lot of technologies entered into this industry, and that's really interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean, I might add to what Ron said. I think what he said is exactly right. If you go back in time, there's been constant waves of technology disruption. The automobile, or the plow, if you're a farmer, like there's just been these huge step changes that have happened that have disrupted industries. I would argue what we're going through right now is one of those. And so how do you harness AI in ways that help drive business use cases for our customers, enhance their business? Think about augmented reality, right? The ability, if I'm trying to maintain equipment or operate equipment, to be able to put a ruggedized device or an iPhone over it and have it augment the instructions for me on my handheld device as to what to do to operate that equipment, to have AI instruct me on what are the right steps to take. Like, we are at a period of time where if we leverage this technology correctly, my God, I think the future is incredible of what we can do and how much we can produce and how much efficiency our customers can drive. Like, I actually think right now is an incredible time to be in this industry with the amount of technology that we can harness to disrupt the industry.
Yeah.
I might ask a follow-up to that because AI has been a great conversation throughout this whole event. Like it's on everybody's minds. I think there's, I don't know if you'd call it a nebulousness about it,
Yeah.
you know, but it's I don't know where to start, how, yeah, I think it's we see the need, but we can't quite figure out the how.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
Well, you know, Sarah, I think back, I think 2 years ago on the main stage, I was involved in a panel discussion about AI, and ChatGPT had just broken into the horizon, and within months they had, you know, hundreds of thousands of people using it. And my advice to people at the time was start playing with it, understand what it can do. And since then, there are now thousands of AI agents around the world, and it is a little bit nebulous. You know, I think that if you look at a college curriculum in the near future, there's going to be classes on how to write prompts, right? Mm-hmm. And it's amazing what Gemini or ChatGPT or any of these agents can do. So I think we're just learning now what we can do. Now, Cyncly has made great strides in AI in the kitchen and bath space. You know, kitchen and baths are products that you fall in love with visually and emotionally, and that's what leads to a sale. I think we're trying to figure out now how do we take that and transform it into window, door, and glass. Yeah,
I think what Ron said is exactly right. I once in a prior life at a prior company, and when blockchain was the hot thing, I had a vice president say to me, "We need a blockchain module," and I said, help me understand the use case of blockchain in a factory, like, because there isn't one, right? So the key for me is what Ron described, customer value. What are those use cases that drive customer value? Inventory optimization, supply chain optimization, there's some key use cases you can drive with AI. That has to be the focus, is on driving customer value, not doing blockchain for the sake of doing blockchain, not doing just saying AI so that I can put it on my marketing slick sheet. Yeah. But what are the key use cases? So what we've been, as Ron described, what we've been doing is sitting down with literally hundreds of our customers, understanding their use cases, prioritizing them, and now starting to layer them into the product, because it really matters to drive customer value. That's, at the end of the day, why we're all here.
Yes, absolutely. Well, on that note, I guess a year from now, when Cyncly is back here exhibiting again in Las Vegas at GlassBuild, what do you think might be new in your booth that you're showing off?
Oh, come on!
If you wanted to crystal ball it.
You're asking. I mean, I think there's a lot of things. You know, Ron talked about it earlier. You know, we have an AI development team who is just focused on building AI capability into our software. I think what you have to do is say, look, from what matters to customers, there's a couple things that philosophically you'll see. One is, when I started out my career, you know, customers would say, hey, if you buy IBM and that's the only vendor you need, or you buy SAP, the world has changed. You walk in a factory and there's an ecosystem of software that customers use. And so one of the things you'll see in the software is integration to the ecosystem. Making Fenavision in this case, or SoftTech, or any of our software, part of the fabric of what a customer uses by integrating it into their other systems. So a broader kind of ecosystem strategy. You'll see AI components, disruptive technology being added in, because, but driven around customers' use cases. You'll see mobile capabilities, ruggedized handheld devices, the ability to do your work whether you're like Ron on the beach somewhere or you happen to be in the factory floor, right? So the ability to kind of do your work anywhere, every time, anywhere, becomes part of what we do. So to me, it's really, how do you drive customer value? How do you leverage disruptive technology? How do you seamlessly become part of the fabric of what a customer does? And then obviously, like, you know, how do you just philosophically, again, how do you become available regardless of the device, whether that's an HMI screen bolted on the plant floor or your handheld device because you're having a Pabst Blue Ribbon or perhaps a pina colada on the beach.
Yeah. Well, that sounds ideal. Even the other day we were talking, one of my colleagues had an app on her iPad that she desperately needed, but it didn't translate to her phone. So just even that simple compatibility element would be key.
Exactly.
So switching up just for a moment to a new event that NGA will be debuting in next spring. We're calling it the NGA Glass Fabricator Conference. And so this is intended to be a blend of two former events, one actually that Ron hosted through his former company Fenatech called GPAD, Glass Processing Automation Days, and also elements of the NGA Glass Conference, more of the technical conference that NGA has hosted. So what are your initial takeaways from our reimagining of this event dedicated to full fabrication?
Well, Sarah, I think that new ideas, new energy are all great, an evolution of any event. We've seen GlassBuild evolve over a long time. When I gifted the GPAD program to NGA, I did it not in the hope that they'd keep it exactly the way it was, but to grow it. And I was privy to some advanced sightings of what it's looking like. And I'm really excited about it. So it's got a component of hands-on work inside a glass fabrication facility. It's got an executive track that's going to educate a lot of the glazing executives and fabricator executives on trends in the industry. And then it's got the technical track, which is so important to NGA. So I think it's going to accomplish a lot of things. It's going to accomplish, minimize the number of events in the industry because we're all busy, right? And it broadens the horizon of what GPAD was, and I think it's going to be great. GPAD was originally founded on the idea of you can come to a trade show like GlassBuild, and you can look up and down the aisle and see machinery companies, you can see software companies, but they're not talking together. GPAD was the event that you bring these people all in one room and have the conversations about automation integration. And now I think that the GFAB is going to expand that to start talking about not eliminating islands of automation, but how do we tie islands of intelligence together. So I'm really intrigued by it. I think it's going to be a great event, and I'm happy to see that it's evolving.
Awesome. Very well said. We might use that, islands of innovation and automation there.
Awesome.
Yes, and hopefully, Don, we'll see you there at our debut event, and look forward to hosting you and getting Cyncly integrated into that fabric.
Absolutely. Yes. I can't wait.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thank you both so much for joining me for a chat. I know it's a busy time on the floor, so thank you for the time away from your booth for a little bit.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
This has been great. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, thank you very much. And also, we want to thank our series sponsors, Dow and Lansing Building Products, for making this live podcast experience available to us at GlassBuild. Until next time, thank you.